Welcome, everyone. My name is Darrell Tisdale, and thank you for viewing my 10-day capstone project. My capstone project is actually a fitness tracker. The why behind that choice was very simple. It's because I decided to take on the fitness journey, and I wanted to create an application that would simplify tracking, as well as simplify the ability to create a monthly routine. A lot of times as a gym goer, whether you're intermediate, beginner, or advanced, you plateau. And plateauing means you don't see any results after a while. And with this fitness tracker, it allows you to progressively overload in weight or reps, so you still are able to achieve your fitness goals in a simplified manner. So for the backend, I use Postman to test my APIs, JavaScript, MongoDB for database, Mongoose schema for formatting. And for the front end, I use Axios, Bootstrap, CSS, Node, Chart.js, and React Calendar. I believe I'm missing one or two more, but I think that covers the premise of every piece of technology that I use that I can think. Oh, as well as Express Router also. And JWT token for user authentication, and JWT decode as well on the front end side. So let's get started. I want to start off with the existing user first. Reason being because that was the most difficult task, yet satisfying once everything was complete. So I'm really proud of that side first. I want to show that side first and foremost, because that's more detailed, because it has more information as if the user was slowly working out or showing what they were doing throughout the week. So let's start. So we're going to log in with an existing user. And we're going to get rid of this, and it's going to be a generic email. To be honest, I use my brother's initials for the email. I'm not going to tell anyone what the password is. So we're going to log in. So as an existing user, once you log in, you're going to get an alert. So I set it up to where the system looks back 7 days. So that will be as of today, the 18th. And it checks to see if there were any exercises on the 18th. So in this instance, there were some exercises on the 18th. So when you first log in as an existing user, it's going to prompt you to carry over last week's exercise and increase the weight by 5 pounds. So you have the option of choosing yes or no. So we're going to choose yes. So it's automatically going to carry over the exercises from 7 days ago to today. So in future iterations, what I want to do, I want it to automatically increase by 5 pounds or whatever the weight that that it sees fit in the system. Right now, I have it set up to where it just carry over what the weight and rep was for the previous week. I also set up to where if the user decides they do not want to do this particular exercise, they have the option of deleting it. Or let's say, for example, they want to do this exercise, but they want to increase their reps by, let's say, for example, 6. So they have the option of deleting the exercise, and they have the option of entering in the exercise again. And I believe it said 90 pounds, and we're going to do, in this instance, 6 reps. And you hit submit, and there it goes. It's there. Shoulder press, 90 pounds for 6 reps. And what you're able to do, you're able to set the exercise for each and every day. And right now, for the beginning of January, there was no exercising until starting on the actual 8th. And again, from the 8th to the 15th, on the 15th, the system will take a look back 7 days and see if there were any exercises there. And if you choose to, you're able to duplicate it and add it to the 15th, or you can manually add it in yourself as well. So the next step is, let's take a look at the user profile. So once you log in, and I'll show that once you register, once you log in, you have a user profile that will show your stats. It's very simplistic, but in future iterations, I will be able to add more detail to it. But for the basic view, it gives you height and weight. And that way it gives you a visual guide to take a look to see if you either gain weight or lost weight, depending on what your goals were. Also, what you're able to do is track your progress. And I have it set up in two ways. You're able to track your weight increase or track your rep increase as well. So let's go with the progression in weight. So I have it set up to where you are able to break it down per exercise with this drop down. You can go to bench press, and as you can see, realistically, of course, you're not going to do bench press every day, but for instructional purposes, I set up to where you are able to see this user's progression. You see on the 8th and the 9th, they were plateaued, they were stagnant. Then all of a sudden they jumped up to the 185 range, and they plateaued again the next day. Then they spiked up to 200, and then they dropped down for whatever the case may be. Again, realistically, you're not going to do bench press every day, but again, just to show that the chart automatically tracks the progress, you can see it here. And this goes for any exercise that you may select. Fortunately, they're not doing overhead press. I think they're lacking on the shoulders here. So we're going to go to triceps. We're going to go to tricep kickbacks, and you can see their weight also has stagnant on that one as well. And again, shoulder press, same thing. So once you go over the rep progress, essentially be the same thing. You can track bench press, and you can see where the reps increase, where they decrease or increase, and the amount of times they were able to lift that particular weight. And it goes the same thing for each and every exercise. This part was a difficult task because I had a hard time trying to get the exercises on the schedule to carry over to the actual progress. It took me some time, long nights, early mornings to figure it out, but end result, I was successful. And I think, in all honesty, I don't want to brag, but this was the crowning achievement here, being able to have the user track their progress and be able to add or delete, or even have the system prompt them to increase the rep, or have it copy over from the previous 7 days. So let's go over to the registration here. So let's log out. So it's really simple. You're able to register by putting in your name. Let's just use, let's use my mom's name. She's rather in shape for her age. Let's just create a generic email. We'll just use her initials. And we're going to use Gmail because everyone loves Gmail. And she's approximately 5. She's not taller than me. We're going to say 5'6". And I should have blocked out the weight, but we're just going to make up something for her. So we're going to create a user here. And of course, it's going to prompt you to sign in. Okay, so once you log in as a new user, it's going to take you to the schedule. So I know what you're thinking. Okay, so what if the new user is fresh, never been to the gym, and they want to have a guide or just have some help? So this is where I created the exercise list. It gives you a actual list of exercises based on the actual target muscle, i.e. your chest, your triceps, your calves, biceps, so on and so forth. So I used a exercise API that had over 1,300 exercises. At one point, it was a long list, and I didn't want the user to have to scroll down. So what I was able to do was I was able to filter it and also create a drop down to make it to make it more simplified. So as you can see, these are the different target muscles. So let's use, for example, biceps. So it's going to give you a list of biceps. Of course, it's about 10 to 20 per page, so you may have to scroll down a little bit, but also what you're able to do is cycle through the pages to get a good idea of the exercise that you may want to do. And the great thing about it as well, instead of just having the actual name of the exercise and not knowing what to do in the gym, it gives a GIF that gives you a good view of what you should be doing. And you can still scroll through the pages and you see the GIFs that gives you a good visual of how to do the exercise. Let's go to another exercise. Let's do abs. Again, it's about 10 to 20 per page. But instead of that long list of 1,300 exercises, again, I left it really simplified as far as the view and keep it very, very simple. So once the user gets a good idea of what they wanted to do as far as the gym, they're able to go to their schedule. And again, just like a current user, you're able to pick today and you're able to add whatever exercise that you want. We want to do crunches. We're going to put 0 because it's a bodyweight exercise and you want to do, let's do 10 reps. You're able to submit it. And you can do another exercise and you're able to add that, so on and so forth. So in future iterations, what I want to do, instead of having the user delete it and add and edit it, I'd rather create an edit button so where they edit, they can just change it right here. I'm going to continue to continuously work on this to make it more user-friendly than what it already is. And after the user, whether it's new or an experienced user, once they're done or they want to log out, again, you just simply click log out. Are you sure you want to log out? And it brings you back to the login and register page. Again, I'm going to definitely continue to work on this project, especially being that I'm in the gym myself. I'm always coming up with new ideas or new things. One main thing that I do definitely want to do, and as far as adding and making it useful for the users, is maybe adding something for nutrition, whether it's a calorie counter, whether it's counting your protein or carbs or fats, because I think that will be actually key as far as a person's fitness journey as well, whether it be gaining muscle or losing weight, or even staying where you're currently at. And I think that would be a real good idea to implement on this particular application. Again, I appreciate everyone's time for taking a look at this. If there's any questions or feedback, feel free to reach out. And again, thank you.